Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode for today. Yes, indeed, I know some of you have been clamoring for something very special for episode 400, but the thing is, I had absolutely no idea what to do, so I just went for what I did best, and of course, casted one hell of a game. At least I hope you thought it to be that. Now we're moving on to a 1 versus 1 in the Sturzdorf area, somewhere near Germany, or possibly in Germany, in Alsace-Lorraine, where two forces shall be clashing. In the western half we will be seeing Hank, and already you can see he's clearly off to some sort of engineer heavy start. Also note both players are about rank 11-12. Rank 11-12, and opposing him shall be Stein 87, Steiner, ready to fight. Finding out here of course for the 20th Armoured Division, opposing him Stein of the 106th Panzer Brigade. And in fact, let's get right down to it. Let us see what shall be up. We are seeing a pretty aggressive Stein. Of course, that's again why I sort of went for it. We are seeing a 4-engineer start, but not being executed by someone of high rank. Someone of this sort of higher level, someone who's clearly much more experienced. No, this will be a sort of more novice, yet not completely novice player handling it. Sort of intermediate. Regular, but not veteran. Engineers, of course, quickly spreading out, taking as much territory as possible. At the same time, we are seeing a Wehrmacht quarters up, and we're seeing a 3 pioneer start from Stein 87 at the same time. So both players are going for a slightly more high worker count. And also note in this case, Hank is not setting down the bags before the final team is ready. Previous 3 engineers are quick to rush out and secure territory for Uncle Sam, for the division, for the regiment, and so on. Pioneers, of course, also slaying out, and both players are sort of actually on a straight path. They wager towards this fuel point, this high fuel point on the map. Not unusual. First unit out for Stein is a bike, a motorcycle, and there we go. Barracks up for Hank. There we go, bike rushing in to deal with those engineers. Flaps being a bit uncooperative. Could be many things. Could be that I'm also uploading the first episode for today at this very moment. Time being rather precious. But back doing what I can to keep these engineers at bay. And there we go, rifleman on the way. And as I suspected, both engineers are now heading towards his here. This is fast as possible. Pioneers, of course, doing what they can over here. And clearly the American commander will be gaining them a larger resource advantage right off the bat. And of course, he's been able to secure more. Again, flaps not being quite cooperative. So standoff between the bike and the engineers. So far, the engineers not faring too well. Their submachine guns can't quite get the same reach as the bike's MG. And further riflemen arriving. Well, the first ones actually. And some lot of engagement here between pioneers and engineers by the barrel factories. Whatever they're supposed to be. Larger force of pioneers rushing in. Engineers slightly on their own. And a safe position inside this smaller. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Smokestack. I'm not sure. And then the bike gets a slightly nasty surprise, running into a sort of full squad cadre of riflemen, forcing it away most swiftly. We are seeing an MG out as the second unit for Stein 87. So a rather aggressive start with pioneers, and then some bikes, and then an MG with the bike, of course, leading the way for the MG, thus ensuring the MG won't quite as swiftly fall into an ambush or get rushed or anything like that. And then getting some infantry. Jolly good job there, Stein. You're not as bad as I thought you were. Oh, never mind, I didn't do that. Just thought it would be... Sounds rather dashing to say that. Either way, rushing out here towards the east. Things looking a bit grim right there for the Wehrmacht, for the Panzer Brigade right on, early on. Panzer Brigade being a rather curious formation. Not heavily trained units, just heavily equipped smaller units. Later variants would have had much more armor, while the first ones didn't quite have much, though they did have more Panthers, rather than running into some rather heavy MG fire. The 106th being composed of, well, basically former members of the SA, the Sturmabteilung, and was named after it, the Panzer Brigade. And we are seeing some minor fighting over here. Engineers and now Volks versus Pioneers, with Volkskanäs joining in to assist the Pioneers, while the Riflemen, of course, did not doing their best to deny the high munitions to the Wehrmacht, which is certainly a good move right there, although Boxhank is losing quite a few engineers. And looks like another one could be going down. There we go, first unit completely lost. Bit unfortunate. Pioneers with flamethrowers. Will the Riflemen be able to get them first? Or will the Pioneers scorch the Riflemen? Right, Pioneers like to get out of there. Get out of there, Stein. Get them. Oh dear, Stein. Also note, again, cover matters. Cover matters. Out in the open versus units of night cover. You're generally not going to do well, in particular then when engineers rush in. In fact, from all sides with flamethrowers even. Rückzugmänner. Action. And the Volkskanadier are in a bit of trouble. There we go. Sent away. Scurrying back to the base of the Panzer Brigade. Small fighting over here. Stein having gotten a sniper for himself as well. So one bike. No, the bike went off, of course, but he had one bike. One Volkskanadier team, one MG, and a sniper. We'll be getting additional units. Yes, indeed. And already note, within the first 5 minutes, Boxhank has been able to secure quite a bit of fuel because he's, well, holding most of the fuel points. In particular, this high fuel, of course, is vital, but of course he's also ensured this one, which is also quite useful, plus the others. So in that sense, he's holding quite a fuel advantage. And one could certainly imagine he might be going to sort of further exploit that by getting some useful buildings. I mean, it's not uncommon to sort of use the 4 engineer start barracks to then sort of go straight for either vehicles or more commonly armor. Volkskanäs now moving up for Stein. Nice little compact force. K-98K, Sturmgewehrs. MG42 holding the flank nicely right there. Looks like Stein is pulling back his front lines. Instead of trying to create more front line, he's creating a more compact one right here on the left side, and he's getting 1 victory point. There we go, supply depot up for Boxhank. Rather than getting stopped, and there we go, sniper fire joining in, getting a bit of drain on the manpower of Boxhank. It's only quite useful in that sense. While we are seeing mines going down for Boxhank, lovely, we love mines, don't we? Except of course when we run into them. In that case we hate them, and whoever uses them is a very, very nasty person. But unless Stein carries on, otherwise of course of the mine threat. Kriegberg's going up, of course he doesn't quite have the fuel for anything else, and of course he's probably going to need a Panzerabwehrkanone, the Pak 38. Also the Panzer Brigades did have the advantage of, well, having all their, every battalion pretty much was fully equipped with half-tracks. That was actually quite a bit rarer, usually, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Although the later ones might have had some trucks as well, but I know the earlier ones, like for example the Feldherrnhalle, would actually had full half-tracks. Although I suppose the Panzer would be better at representing those as well. Oh well. In fact, they were pretty good at it, come to think of it. Since they were mostly equipped with half-tracks, didn't have much artillery, and Sydney, they didn't actually have a lot of sort of variant in armor. Anyways, Volkskanäs getting ready, Pioneer sitting down here, leading survey. Of engagement right here from Rifleman over there, and Sniper joining in as well. My apologies for the sort of small historical discussions with myself. Do get a bit caught away with that. Trying to create a sort of compelling historical narrative, which is certainly one of the points of, well, me casting. Sort of try to create those, have a bit of history as well, for those that are interested, create a bit of narrative, make things a bit more than just two fellows throwing pixelated units at each other. I mean, I've certainly come quite a big way when you're 400 episodes, 1800 subscribers. Certainly wouldn't imagine this got this far, or perhaps I had. I'm also glad to have so many fans, so many dedicated fans, so many people which I entertain and educate on a daily basis, ever lovely. And of course I hope to get many more. And again, I apologize if you're expecting more, but sadly I'm not entirely sure what to do. MP40s though equipped. Volkskanäs looks like getting out now, but what is this? It's German M4. Volkskanäs quickly on the run. Stein 87. Clearly not please. Although looks like he has a mine. Oh dear, the Sherman might be rushing into it. Getting hit by the pack. Damaged engine, but still on the road. Still getting the 50 caliber though. And of course he could be flanking it. I mean, a Sherman is pretty tough, and usually you might actually want to get more than just one pack to deal with a Sherman. Slight little detail there. Although the mine certainly was good. But looks like the pack. Oh dear, it might go down. It might go down. Bunker up at the same time for Stein 87. MG keeping away the supporting infantry. Volksgun is moving in from the rear. Pack cleared out. Pioneers hiding inside the bunker. Sherman needs to get away. Sherman desperately needs to get away. Volksgun is moving up. Could be getting off a Panzerfaust. And they do, knocking out the main gun, but the 50 caliber is still there. It's still roaring. But another pack is arriving. Engineers are arriving. 50 caliber tearing through the Volksgunners. I mean, note that 50 caliber machine gun is quite lethal. Volksgun is taking heavy damage, but there we go. Pack 38 arriving. Sherman needs to keep moving. Get back to safety. No, he's stopping up. And kaboom. Sherman is screwed up. Quite unfortunate. Of course, you probably should have had some infantry support for it. He got a bit bold. He thought I had secured a decent Sherman rush, but sadly he was wrong. Stein caught him with Panzerabwehrkanone and mines as well. So good mining on both sides. And bunker up, although now there's a Pack 38 left behind for anyone to seize. But a second Sherman already on the way. Another 50 caliber. Certainly good to see that Box Henk is not so easily dissuaded for pushing with armor. What's going on here? We are now seeing a Kampfkraft center up. We are seeing Grenadiers on the way. Volksgrenadiers. Medic bunker on the way as well. Lovely, lovely. Although that second Sherman will of course prove to be a problem. Also note he's really getting some fuel now. In particular now with that observation post on that high fuel point. So even if he does lose it eventually, he might still have something. Also perhaps recommend again medic station, supply and upgrades.
Carry on, your fallen brother's struggle.
Sherman taking up a defensive position here. Not entirely sure why he's sneaking off so far on his own. And Sherman giving the Volksgunners a bit of a surprise there. Quickly rushing those away. Sniper also moving about. 8 kills so far. Grenadiers joining in. No munitions for them. Pack getting recruited. And Terror has been chosen for Stein 87. I can see this right here, oddly enough. For the Panzer Lead, it's always this same icon. But for the Wehrmacht, you actually get separate icons down here. And this means Terror. Some little fun fact there. Sherman on the move out. Rifleman also moving up to support. That is good. That is what we like to see. And Rifleman moving up here once more, rushing into this MG42, which never seems to move, but the Riflemen never seem to learn their lesson. And they are quickly sent scurrying back. The half-track now actually joining the troops. Good to see that. Good to see that. Grenadiers also moving about, but with no Panzer. No, never mind. There we go. Lovely to see. Panzer Schreck can turn out against this Sherman. And looks like the American commander is cooling a bit off. Has lost a bit of his vigor, his aggressiveness. He also seems to have lost quite a few engineers. Down to only 1 engineer team out of 4. That's less good. Also, note he hasn't gone for this munitions point. Manning the half-track with only 2 Volksgunners might have been better to do that. Pioneers, of course. That way you man the guns, plus you have a team that can easily repair the half-track in case it gets damaged. Plus, of course, you can keep an infantry to actually do the fighting. That's at least how I usually see it. There we go. Grenadiers moving up. Panzer firing at these riflemen. Sherman pulling back, not quite fancying that whole Panzer business. What? No, it's moving in. More riflemen on the move. Sniper opening up, but missing. Half-track also moving in. Sherman arriving. Firing and blowing up some metal. But not quite managing anything really damaging. BAR's now up for Box Henk. This is going to be a slightly bigger problem for Stein, since currently he has no veterancy for his infantry. Despite the fact he has a Kampfkraft center grenadier down. Greatly wounded. Will there be a medic to save him? Volkswagen is doing their best to keep off a larger flank of riflemen. Though there's much automatic fire being arrayed against them, and again with no veterancy, they are particularly vulnerable, particularly soft. Riflemen moving in, Grenadiers taking heavy losses. Pack though there, snipers as well. Riflemen with heavy losses need to get out of there, leave. Other riflemen charging right into the MP40 Volkswagen and the half-track with his MG as well. Less good. Oh dear, and a BAR left behind for the Wehrmacht to play with. That was not quite a successful assault. Had he possibly just had one more angle to that attack. From here, for example, he might have pulled it off. But instead, he just rushed 2 units in through here, and that just didn't quite work out. Either that, he should have had some grenades. But again, no grenades and still no supplied upgrades. So that was quite the bruising, but he's still holding most of the map, but not most of the victory points, which are currently in the hands of Stein 87. Whose strength is growing. Grenadiers reinforcing, finally getting some infantry veterancy as well. Looks like some poor folks are making it back to the medic bunker. Hooray! More engineers. Sherman getting repaired again. So far, no real kills to the Sherman. Bit unfortunate that. Half-track getting repaired. All quiet for now. All very quiet. And we are seeing propaganda war up. So it's not completely unusual to assume that he might be going for the King Tiger then, which of course would not be a bad choice. Barbed wire up right here in front of the victory point, nice idea. Will certainly prevent anyone from directly rushing at the victory point, which could certainly be to his advantage, although of course he has to be careful while he's under fire. And there we go, quickly stopping, pulling back. Will there be any attempt at really flanking this position this time around? Not the best building to hide in. Note, only one window here, and again, note windows are quite important. If it's a heavy machine gun, a Panzer or bazooka, great job, but if it's something like rifling with BARs, yeah, you might want to do better. But there we go, flanking in. Engineer gets sniped, lots of flamethrowers, rifle moving in. Will the Sherman be joining? Yes, sitting about for perhaps a larger flank, and now he's moving in, both rifling into this building, letting them scotch ever so easily. What are you doing, Boxing? What are you doing? Come on, push though, push! From every angle possible. You've got these riflemen there, get them moving. You're just, giving up too easily. The German running into a bit of a problem here with this barricade. And a mine goes off. Oh dear, killing several of the riflemen inside there. In fact, one team gets completely annihilated. Sherman was into flank, but this is simply too late. Again, Boxing absolutely faltered with this assault. That rather seems to be his sort of major issue. He's not really good at attacking. Grenade goes off on the pack, hoping to get it, but not quite, not quite. Sherman needs to focus down the pack if it wants to live. We are seeing armor doctrine, in fact. We're seeing Allied War Machine. And looks like it might be able to get this pack. Or will it? Needs to get back, though. Needs to get back to base. Frap. And half-track seems to be charging right into the American base. But what is that Sherman doing? Looks like it's trying to knock that out. But oh dear, second pack moving in. Sherman, get out of there again. Don't leave us Sherman at the front without infantry support. This Sherman was designed to support infantry. Considered a bit of a Stug, but with a turret, which does mean it makes it more flexible. But again, don't leave it at the front, heavily damaged without support. Please, for heaven's sake, please. And one can clearly see where Boxing falters. This is in the execution stage. He's got the right ideas, but he just can't quite seem to get them off. In particular, his armor tactics are a bit rotten. His armor preservation, leaving a lot left to be desired. As for the mid-game analysis, current situation, well, Stein is a bit, still boxed in, but he's been able to do a lot of damage to Boxing, who's seemingly keen on a weapon support center. He has riflemen with BRs, grenades. That's good, but he needs to preserve his units better, and he needs either a medic station or something like that, and a supply yard upgrade, which he's at least gotten one of now. That's something, but still more, please. And he also needs to get a bit better timing. I mean, this assault right here with the Sherman didn't quite work out because that Sherman wasn't in position properly, for starters. And I mean, you know, trying to time your attacks ready, you need to really hit them from as many sides as possible at the same time. Otherwise, you just sort of get them dealing with one part of the assault at a time. And that's not really going to work out for you now, is it? Stein of... oh, fraps. Anyways, I mean, Stein doing alright. Quite alright with mines and such. Good unit preservation, good usage of, well, basically his units, snipers, all that. Nice job, nice probably identifying what's going on there with the American opponent, of course, being reasonably ready for that Sherman coming in, the second one as well. Good move here so far. Let us return to the fight. So far so quiet, and looks like Box Henk is getting ready for another assault, and he's really insistent on that MG42 not moving, moving apparently every single time. In this case, though, he managed to avoid it and then run straight into sniper and mines. So, my apologies for all this, by the way. Second assault moving in towards the east. Might finally be securing these munitions, which will also fall into the hands of the American commander. American dog. At the same time, Stein sending off his own assault, another pack to cover. Pioneers moving up to salvage the munitions from Shermans. Good, good. And no, he's actually just preparing a defensive position, interestingly enough. But more Grenadiers with Panzerschrecks. What happened to that BAR, I wonder? Oh wait, there we go. Looks like we're seeing a clash right here between some larger forces. Rather than have to be careful. Again, cover, cover. Stand still. Stand still for heaven's sake. Battle phase reached for Stein. Grenade on the Volksgun. It's yes, there we go. Heavy losses, Red 21. And a Pioneer team down.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
This certainly worked quite well out for little Mr. Box Henk, who's now getting a sniper of his own. Half-Tech though moves in, hitting a mine at the same time. One sticky bomb though, and Stein will be getting it, I think. Volksgun is moving in to support, but will it be enough? Numerous sticky bombs on that Half-Tech, might be one too much, yes indeed. No point in throwing more at it than is necessary. Well, even though we're suppressed by the Half-Tech's MG, Grenadiers moving in. Would have been interesting if they had an LMG, that might have kept the riflemen suppressed. Might also have done a bit more damage, but there we go. Volksgunners could be moving in, setting up flank position, but no, they're not interested. These Panzer Grenadiers of the 1300 Panzer Brigade are not quite as heroic as the chaps in the full division on the eastern front. Volksgunners moving in, there we go though. One drop right away. Grenade, yes indeed. Good job, Box Henk, good job, but slightly not predicting where they would go. And a full retreat. Sniper moving up. Probably should have done that earlier. And medic's quick to move in. Could this soon mean another Grenadier team soon? Could be, could be. Sniper hiding on the western front. MG still there. And quite a bit of resources being floated for Stein. Come on, Stein. No point in floating resources. Would be nice if you actually listened to what I said in my casts. Come on, bunker, bunker. Yes, again, I know this isn't the highest stuff. Just want, you know, also sort of a bit of mix, so it isn't always, you know, either pro or novice. Again, a bit in between can also do good. Can also be interesting for some. Although Boxing might want to sharpen up his things, and again, he seems to sort of imagine this MG42 being everywhere, but it's only in that damn corner. And of course, Chinese team should be killed by just keeping an MG there. Still, in this case, it's doing quite nicely. Because, again, Box Henk seems quite convinced of it not existing. And he's actually trying to bait in the sniper, but he didn't quite succeed.
Veterancy gained.
Getting a second sniper. I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea. Might have been a better idea to actually get a mortar and bombard that MG, clear up this area, and then move in. But no. No. That is not the way the Box Henks do it. of the Northwest Hampshire box hanks. No, those silly Manchester box hanks. Those are just tossers. Anyways, looking up for another assault snipers again. Scharfschütze. Just move it. Rückzug. And there we go again, trying to draw in the sniper. And looks like, is he getting another sniper zone? No, but he is getting the Panzer Command up. Come again. Use resources, use resources. Force retreat somewhere. And Box Hank was not ready to do the counter snipe. And again, come on, Box Hank. Grenade, forcing the grenadiers out. Come on, do it, do it, do it. No, the sniper gets away. At least use the snipers to clear out the MG then. I mean, that way you can also force the other sniper to have to be a lot more careful because you know there's snipers out there. Come on, Box Hank. You've got snipers. Use them for heaven's sake. I mean, otherwise you've just wasted 680 manpower on nothing. I mean, again, if you get snipers, bloody well use them even for counter sniping. You know, try at least and then, in that sense, force his own sniper to be a lot more cautious. In particular when you have two. I mean, come on. Austrian on the way. No armor from Box Hank. Oh dear. Box Hank, you're moving from one disaster to the other. In fact, let's go return to him. Looks like he might be going for a Pershing, in which case he has the command points for it now. Do it. Do it, Box Hank. The spirits of your ancestors compel you. Apparently not. And now the Austrian Flak Panzer moves out. Don't think any of the Panzer Brigades would. Oh my goodness! I think there was a Goliath out of that building at the same time. Oh my. Oh dear. That was a lot of dead riflemen. And a bunker that almost got knocked out. And these riflemen also need to get out, and thus means a lot less riflemen again for Box Hank. At least he's securing what he can here. But his riflemen need to get out of there most desperately. And looks like they have managed that. Sherman arriving. And getting demo charges to clear out any bunkers. Good move. Good move, Box Hank. Although I would have wished you could have preserved your units better. I'm sure your men who are still alive would also wish you'd been able to preserve their comrades a bit better. Bike moving out.
Purging reserves are now available.
And another 50 caliber, and there we go. He had access to the German purging much earlier and could have done something a bit more with it, but no, he decided not. Bunker goes up in flames. Volkskriegs moving in. Volkskriegs moving up on the flank, going for the high munitions point. Looks like the tables have turned on Box Hank and the 20th Armored Division as the 106th Panzer Brigade moves forward. Being much too careful. Oh dear, flaps, stop being silly. I command thee. Another supplied upgrade, about damn time. Still, a medic station would have done better, I think. Still would. Or just saving up those resources for a damn purging. Looks like these Volkskriegs might be getting themselves a rifleman surprise. Perhaps a grenade. Over the building, over the roof. Apparently not. And Bike charging right into him to catch the snipers. Instead, all he looks like he's catching is a Sherman. There we go. 75mm high explosive shells. Results when hitting a bike, not good for the bike, nor its crew.
Rifles on me.
More on the way from the Panzer Command. Again, Stein, you're really making that mistake, that terrible mistake of floating too many damn resources. Trust me, it rarely leads to any good. Also consider getting... And indeed, having secured a bit of veterancy for the Austrian Flak Panzer, lovely to see. Riflemen and snipers. Panther moving up from Stein, 87. That's going to be a bit more of a problem, though, for Box Hank, who's already got enough problems. A Panther does not help. Don't keep both of your snipers next to mine! Please don't! Are you utterly daft? Bit of an action over here. False grenadiers, riflemen. Not really looking good. Looks like things have utterly collapsed for Box Hank. All hope seems to be out. Damaged engine.
Casualties being reported.
Rifleman utterly squished. Pershing on the way. Let's just speed up to that. Mine hit. Damaged engine. Pershing moving in without support. Go dear. Right at a Panther. At least keep the snipers nearby to deal with an infantry, say pioneers wanting to repair the Panther. And a pack joins in the fun. Thus meaning the Pershing is a lot more trouble. Despite having done much to the Panther's getting repaired, and the snipers are nowhere to support it. Again, support your attack, support your armor. And for those wondering why didn't I cast something a bit more high level perhaps in that sense, well again, I'd also like to have something for the rest of the week. And chances are I might not have that, so I'd like to keep sort of things out, otherwise you'll get an entire day without something good, I suppose. Or well, highly exciting, it means there's still something to learn from this, and still had some good points. Again, the sort of 4 engineer starts, though by a less skilled player, and of course sort of problems in execution right here. Don't park next to your own mines, come on! Standard mine procedure in company of heroes. Don't stand next to your own bloody mines when you've got things that can set them off.
The Germans are after one of our munitions points.
King Tiger says hello. That's definitely a problem for the Pershing and Sherman. No field repairs, no munition for that. German armor advances. Sticky bomb on the King Tiger. No, I don't think at this stage it will do much. Damaged engine, but that's not really going to stop the German war machine. The Panzerwaffen advancing, forced retreat. And a mine sets off, immobilizing the King Tiger. I suppose that's a small blessing for the Americans, though how much I don't know. I don't think it'll do much. The Panther's still there, the Ostwind is. Snipers hiding, but they can't do anything against those Tigers and Panthers. Oh my. And let's just speed this up. This is pretty much the end for Box Hank. In fact, let's just stop it right here. And again, a slightly more educational game, I suppose. And of course, I mean, what can we learn from this? We again saw this sort of 4 engineers start. We saw, and Stein essentially sort of actually countering. In fact, he mentions later in this game that basically he knew that what was going on because he saw those 4 engineers, and he saw the sort of swift force towards east, towards the fuel. That is, he knew Box Hank was going for Shermans, and of course he got packs, he got mines, sort of help against that. Of course, also note, usually you get more than one pack to deal with the Sherman. And then sort of things fell apart though for Box Hank because he was not very good at preserving his Germans. He was not good at getting them back to safety and keeping them in one piece. In particular, this one could easily have been saved if he just moved it back. But no, he didn't. He didn't support them with our armor either. And also second issue again was sort of basically he wasn't really good at executing assaults. Things didn't quite have the right amount of coordination, which meant they fell apart. And again, not enough angles. That could also have been avoided. And of course, if we can get Fraps to cooperate. And finally, we also had this sort of bit over the MG where he constantly sort of thought he was getting moved, but he didn't. I mean, in that case, you know, try something else. I mean, fool you once, shame on whoever fooled you twice, shame on George Bush. No, wait, that's not how it goes, but nonetheless, I mean, don't constantly run into the same MG position, for heaven's sake. Don't. And also, again, don't get 2 snipers and don't have them do anything. I mean, these 2 snipers got 4 kills together. That's not good. I mean, they didn't do well in counter-sniping, they didn't do well in draining his opponent of manpower. Either way, that was a pretty huge waste. He could have easily gotten a few more Shermans for that and probably done a lot more. Easily. He could have gotten a crocodile and burned away those packs. But no, he didn't. He just got 2 snipers who did nothing. Bollocks. So that was not good either. Poor unit management, either resource management in the later game. Basically, things fell apart from Box Hank once that sort of thing right from the beginning didn't work out in the Sherman rush, basically. It was his gimmick, because in this sense, I mean, gimmick usually means it's just that and then nothing else happens. And once that gimmick failed for Boxenk, things didn't quite work out. I mean, you sort of have to want to evolve things like Sherman rushes into more than just a gimmick. You want to give something that makes you an advantage, and of course keep them alive and make something more of it. In this case, Boxenk failed. Hopefully you will not. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.